Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Hands-On CISO podcast. Today, I am talking to Korab Osmanaj, who is a seasoned information security expert with a wealth of experience across multiple fields, including IT infrastructure design, network engineering, web development, and e-commerce. Currently, he manages a small, expanding cybersecurity team and is focused on launching a consulting business in information security. Korab is also a participant in triathlons, with his next competition set for October 2024. Oh, wow, that's like very soon.
Yeah, I'm preparing for that, trying to prepare.
Amazing. So, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. I'm fine. Doing everyday job.
Which is ever changing as a CISO.
Yeah.
Tell us what you do.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm a CISO in a financial institution called PriBank. It's a bank. It's a startup bank, and I was a part of. I was very lucky to be a part of a founding team, not the founder, but a founding team, and had the chance to not say experiment, but to do those things from the beginning the way that I thought was the best approach.
Amazing. And how did you get to that point? How did you start in security?
Yeah. Well, my journey into cybersecurity has been quite unique and diverse, I should say, because I initially started my career in fields that may seem unrelated at first glance, such as you said, graphic design, web design, social media, e-commerce, and such. And each of these areas provided me with a different perspective on technology and its application in various industries. So when I was working in web design, I became fascinated by how the web operates and the intricacies involved in making it both functional and visually appealing. However, it was also during that time that I began to notice the inherent security vulnerabilities. So, for instance, I saw firsthand how poorly implemented security measures could lead to significant issues. So, from simple website defacement to more serious data breaches, And yes, these experiences sparked the deep interest in cybersecurity for me, and I found myself increasingly drawn to understanding how to protect digital assets and ensure safe online interactions. So this curiosity also led me to pursue further education and certifications in cybersecurity, such as recently I had the chance to pass the exams of CISP, CISM, and CISA to build a strong foundation in this field. So now looking back, I realize that my diverse background has been incredibly beneficial. It has given me a holistic view of how a cybersecurity intersects with various aspects of technology and business. So by enabling me to develop more comprehensive security strategies.
What was the first job that you did in security that got you in?
Mhm. The first job was as a network engineer in a company called 3CIS, where I had a chance to work for infrastructure in AT&T United States and also Vodafone in UK. So that was basically the beginning of my journey towards cybersecurity.
How does your day to day look now?
Well, my day-to-day responsibilities as a CISO are quite dynamic, and each day brings new challenges and opportunities. So basically, my mornings start with reviewing any incidents of or any alerts that may have come in overnight. This could range from minor anomalies to potential threats that require an immediate attention. After addressing those any urgent matters, I typically have I should say, series of meetings, small meetings with cybersecurity team that we have to discuss ongoing projects, an incident response strategy, or new security policies. We also conduct regular threat assessment and vulnerability scans to ensure our systems are secure. So I also spent a significant amount of time on strategic planning. So this involves reviewing our current security posture, identifying areas of improvement, and planning for any future initiatives.
Is that the same thing you did when you were starting out in security? Has the tasks and things you do changed a lot?
They change quite often. They change quite often. As the name of the podcast series are called Hands-on CISO, we wear many hats, so we need to adjust to different scenarios and different occurrences throughout the day. So yeah.
Cool. So, what would you say is the biggest difference between cybersecurity now and cybersecurity when you got started?
It changed a lot. It changed a lot because when I started, some nowadays trends didn't exist, such as Internet of Things that are a real thing now, and there's a vector of attack through those devices. Also, the human factor was not very the focus at the time. Now it is. So it is. We try to do security awareness and training for the staff constantly because we see that's the main threat. You invest a lot in technology and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, an employee who intentionally or unintentionally makes a mistake or falls a victim, it's, it's really dangerous in that aspect.
Interesting. Why do you think that in the past the human part was not as focused on?
In the past, cybersecurity as a whole, I believe, was not companies did not focus a lot on that aspect because the idea was to try to digitalize every aspect of the business and to develop their infrastructure. So I believe the cybersecurity was lacking behind the focus on cybersecurity. And after there's some failures, some breaches, and we know all the breaches that happen all the time. It brought the attention to cybersecurity, and companies are really, I believe, taking it seriously now.
Cool. So you're actually the person in charge of making sure the company is safe. Do you ever feel like a bad cop? Like you have to make sure no one's doing anything wrong and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are definitely times when I feel like the bad cop. In cybersecurity, we often have to enforce strict policies and procedures that can sometimes be seen as obstacles by other departments. So, for example, when implementing multi-factor authentication, some employees might see it as an inconvenience. However, it's essential for protecting our systems and data. So balancing security and usability is always a challenge. Our goal is to implement measures that safeguard the organization without hindering productivity. So this sometimes means saying no to certain requests or delaying projects until we can ensure they are secure. So one instance that comes to my mind is that we had to restrict certain applications from being used on company devices due to security vulnerabilities. And while this decision was met with resistance, it was necessary to protect our network from potential breaches. So, however, being the bad cop also means educating and communicating the reasons that are behind those decisions. So when employees understand the risks and the potential impact of security breaches, they are more likely to cooperate and follow the guidelines. So I try to foster a culture of security awareness where everyone understands their role in protecting the organization.
Amazing. How have you been able to do that? What is the way that you communicate to the employees and really make them see how important this is for everyone and not just to you?
Yeah, so we start from the onboarding process of hiring new staff. That's the starting point, and we conduct regular training and awareness programs to remind them how important it is to protect the information and to be more careful on that side. We try different methods, starting from we also do we change their backgrounds, wallpapers, and computers. group policies with the quotes and with some parts of the policies that we have to remind them the importance of those policies and those measures. So also in the hallways, we post posters with different quotes and different messages.
Have you found any specific thing to work better than another, or is it really just about doing all these small things that add up?
No, I should say different things, different methodologies, different ways of implementing things. They're all add up. I didn't find a single formula if I could say, inject the responsibility to the staff. So by constantly awareing them, that's what helps us a lot.
So there's no magic answer.
No magic formula in cybersecurity.
Okay. So how do you balance between, on the one hand, you do want to educate and teach your employees and make sure that they act the right ways. But on the other hand, you also want to put certain blocks and technical things to make sure they can't accidentally do anything. Like, how much is actually education versus implementing different solutions technically?
Yeah, as I said, we try to balance these two. But if you ask me, it's better safe than sorry. So we try to implement technical controls to limit some access that they don't need, starting from the web pages, categorizing the web pages. So the whole traffic, even if they work remote, the whole traffic comes to our firewalls, and that's where the filtering goes. Also, somehow removing the administrative privileges to the devices so they can't accidentally or unintentionally install any application that's not whitelisted in our company. And on the other side, then trying to aware them as much as possible for the consequences. Not trying to punish them. Never. We never do that. It's not the idea to make the environment that punishes you, and you don't feel safe reporting them. So the idea is to report any incident that they might think had happened. So in order for us to investigate it further.
Great. So without any names or companies, have you ever seen a really bad security situation?
Really bad? I don't know, really bad, but yeah, one of the most challenging incidents that I dealt with involved a sophisticated phishing attack, which targeted several high-level executives in our organization. So these attackers used social engineering tactics to craft highly personalized emails that appeared to come from trusted sources. So these emails contained malicious links that, when clicked, as you know, installed malware on the executive devices. So the initial signs of the breach were subtle, but we quickly noticed unusual activity on the network. And we immediately launched an investigation and discovered that the malware was designed to steal sensitive information, including login credentials and financial data. So this incident required a coordinated response, and we had to isolate the affected devices, conduct also thorough forensic analysis to understand the extent of the breach, because initially you don't know what's the extent of it, and implement measures to prevent further damage. So communication was crucial during this time. We had to inform the affected executives, provide them with the support, and ensure they understood the steps that we were taking to address this issue. And one of the biggest challenges was, to restore the trust. So after the incident, we conducted extensive security awareness training, focusing on recognizing phishing attempts and the importance of reporting suspicious activities. So this incident underscored the importance of having a robust incident response plan and the need to continuous education and vigilance. It was a challenging experience, but it ultimately led to a stronger security posture for the organization.
Well, when something like that happens, how do you react? Like, what is the first move?
First, you have to stay calm and try to stay calm in order to grasp the situation, to understand what's going on, and not to panic. So we have some incident response plans prepared for different types of attacks or incidents, security incidents, events, and we gather as a team, as an incident response team, and try to understand what happened. So, in order to react with a proper incident response plan.
What is the biggest challenge that you see in cybersecurity right now?
Biggest challenge. There are many challenges, but the biggest challenge I'm facing right now is managing the expansion of cybersecurity team. While still handling hands-on duties. So, as our organization grows, so does the complexity and scale of our security needs. So we need more specialized skills to address the increasing variety of threats and ensure comprehensive coverage across all our digital assets. I believe one reason this challenge is happening is the rapid pace of technological advancement. New technologies bring new vulnerabilities, and we need to stay ahead of potential threats. So this requires not only expanding the team, but also ensuring continuous education and upskilling for existing team members. So another factor is the competitive job market for cybersecurity professionals. Finding top talent is challenging, especially when larger organizations with bigger budgets are also vying for the same skill set. We have to be creative in our approach and offering attractive career development opportunities and fostering a supportive and innovative work environment.
Interesting. What are the different roles in a security team?
In our organization, we are a small team. The roles in the cybersecurity team where you can delegate responsibilities to each specialized unit. You need to have a vulnerability management team, pen testers, SOC team, security operations center team. These are the teams, I should say, that you can. It's good to have in house, but you can also outsource some of these responsibilities to an outsourcing companies, such as penetration testing services. You can hire from the outside.
Cool. And it sounds like the cybersecurity field is changing so much all the time. And it's already a pretty stressful job. And you also have to learn a lot of things all the time. So, how do you even, like, when you look at your time, how much of it is spent actually doing the work? And how much is really learning new things, finding out what new ways I can be hacked in?
Yes, the good thing is that you learn new things while doing the work. You're constantly facing new issues, new attacks, new ways of attacks. So you develop your skills and skill set while working also. But apart from the day-to-day job, we try to personally, I try to stay updated in cybersecurity by employing, I should say, a multifaceted approach to ensure I'm always on top, or try to be on top of the latest developments. Firstly, I'm an active participant in the industry conferences and seminars. These events are invaluable for networking, learning about emerging trends, and hearing from the thought leaders. Also, I dedicate time to continuous education. As I said, recently I had some certifications that helped me a lot, and those certifications require to keep those certifications require ongoing education to maintain them, which helps ensure that my knowledge remains current. So Also, reading is another key component. I subscribe to several cybersecurity journals, blogs, and news sites. And yes, balancing all these activities can be challenging, but it's essential for staying ahead in such a fast-paced field.
And I'm assuming there's a lot of data floating around the internet, a lot of things you can learn. How do you know who to trust in a way or where to put your attention?
Uh, you trust the sources, basically. You trust, for example, some website that I visit. I trust them because they have a good reputation on offering the information and the news. But yeah, you always have to verify them, always, because there's a lot of scam around.
What do you mean there's a lot of scams around?
For example, we know the latest incident, the major incident that happened lately with the CrowdStrike. They did a fantastic job. They offered the solution within an hour, if I'm correct. The malicious actors used that to offer from their side the fixes, which was really malicious. So people panicking can adopt those solutions and all get infected more in that sense.
Interesting. So you're saying that a lot of the people who were affected thought they found a solution through something
Yes,
and it was actually, oh wow.
yes, yes.
What do you do after that happens?
You have two issues. You have just got into a bigger issue. Yes. Uh, First, as I said, you need to verify. You need to verify the sources, the sources that you believe most, that you constantly get information from. And yeah, be careful of the impact that those solutions might bring in. You have to isolate the infrastructure and to test the solution within an isolated environment to see if it's fixing or it's doing the contrary. Well, yeah, there are many approaches.
Interesting. You said in the beginning that you're in a completely different field and then cybersecurity like attracted you to it. What did you like about cybersecurity that made you think, huh, I want to get into this stressful field?
Yeah, what was it? I wasn't, I, to tell you the truth, I wasn't aiming cybersecurity from the beginning. You know, I was always doing different aspects, different jobs, but and different duties, but all of them had cybersecurity incorporated into them. So all of those experiences led me to this to this field. And reading books in information security gave me an interesting perspective on this field. So yeah, there are different pieces of situations that led me here. So I cannot pick one.
So there were a lot of different things that just kind of led you
Yes.
to eventually get here.
Yeah.
Interesting. What is a thing that you think most CISOs don't pay enough attention to?
They don't pay attention in human factor. I know it's. I should say they don't pay attention, the proper attention in human factor, because human factor and security and awareness programs are in every information security department. But I believe that's one significant spot that CISOs didn't pay much attention. So technical defenses are essential, definitely, but strong security culture with organization and human behavior often poses the greatest risk. So employees at all levels need to understand their role in maintaining security and be actively engaged in protecting the organization's assets. So investing in regular and comprehensive security awareness training can make a substantial difference. So many breaches occur due to simple human errors, such as falling for phishing scams, as we said, or failing to follow security protocols. So by educating employees about the latest threats and best practices, we can significantly reduce these risks. Another aspect, as I said, of security culture is encouraging open communication. So employees should feel comfortable reporting suspicious activities or potential vulnerabilities without fear, of reprisal. So creating an environment that doesn't involve punishment, where security concerns are taken seriously and addressed promptly, can lead to earlier detection and resolution of issues. No.
How is managing, well, actually not managing, but what is the difference of when you have to be a CISO in a relatively smaller company and you maybe even know most of the people by name or by face versus when you're a CISO in a very big company and you kind of have to
Mhm.
make sure other people enforce that culture for you?
Now, having a small team has its advantages. It has its advantages because you can communicate directly to them and have a frequent discussions about the topics and faster decision making. But on the other side, you have to wear different hats for different purposes, and you have to be jack of all trades. And being in a larger organization, you have specialized teams, but that lacks some kind of agility, I should say. And so both of them have their advantages and disadvantages.
That's a good answer. What do you tell people who think cybersecurity is just like, just don't click on links?
Not clicking links, yeah. Uh, I encountered this. Yeah, I often encountered this misconception, you know, that cybersecurity's primary role is to warn people about phishing emails. So yeah, while preventing phishing attacks is indeed a crucial aspect of our work, the scope of cybersecurity is much broader and more comprehensive. If phishing emails were the only thing that we had to worry about, I might actually get a good night's sleep. No, so yes, cybersecurity encompasses a wide range of activities such as threat detection and response. So beyond phishing, we constantly monitor for various types of threats such as malware, ransomware, and advanced persistent threats. Vulnerability management also, we regularly conduct assessments and penetration testing to identify and mitigate weaknesses in our systems. So this proactive approach helps us fix potential issues before they can be exploited by attackers. It's like playing whack-a-mole with hackers, except the moles have PhDs in computer science in this case. Also, incident response and recovery, it's another aspect that we deal with. When a security incident occurs, our role it extends to incident response and recovery. So this includes containing the threat, investigating the breach, and restoring normal operations. And another important aspect that many don't are not prepared before entering in cybersecurity is the compliance and governance. Ensuring compliance with various regulations and standards such as GDPR in Europe, HIPAA for healthcare, or ISO 27001, 27001 is a significant part of our work. So yeah, it involves implementing policies and procedures that aligns with these regulations and conduct regular audits to ensure ongoing compliance.
I liked your metaphor of whack-a-mole. How do you manage it sounds like security professionals in general, but specifically CISOs have to be very on all the time. Have to be very aware, very ready for any change. Anything can happen. Does that take a toll on you in terms of stress? Do you find yourself, staying up at night thinking about how do I solve this or stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. Yes, as a cybersecurity professional, there are definitely a few things that keep me up at night. So, and I'm not just talking about the endless cups of coffee. So the nature of the field means that there are always new threats and challenging or challenges that are emerging, and staying ahead of them is a constant battle. One of the biggest concerns is the sophistication of cyber attacks, because cyber criminals are getting smarter, more organized, and more resourceful. We are no longer dealing with lone hackers in their basements, the script kiddies. Many attacks are carried out by highly skilled, well-founded groups, including state-sponsored actors. So the complexity and scale of these threats can be daunting. It's like playing an endless game of chess where your opponent keeps coming up with new moves you've never seen before. And yeah, another worry is the possibility of insider threat. That's a big threat. While we often focus on external threat, the reality is that someone within the organization can cause significant damage, either intentionally or unintentionally. So this could be due to a disgruntled employee, someone being careless with their credentials, or even someone being manipulated by external attackers. So human factor is unpredictable, and that's what makes it so challenging to manage. Also, data breaches are a concern. The thought of sensitive information being compromised, whether it's personal data of our customers or proprietary business information, it's a nightmare scenario. But at the end of the day, cybersecurity is a field where stakes are high, and the landscape is constantly shifting. But with a strong team, continuous learning, and proactive approach, we can navigate these challenges and stay on one step ahead of the bad guys.
It's a cool way to put it. What do you think this field is going to look like in 5 years, 10 years? What is going to change?
No. uh, predicting the future of cybersecurity is it's very difficult. It's like trying to predict the next plot twist in a thriller novel. It's coming, but the details can be surprising. So that said, there are a few trends and developments that we can reasonably expect to see in the next few years. For example, AI and machine learning will become even more prevalent in cybersecurity, and these technologies have already started revolutionizing how we can detect and respond to threats. In the future, AI and machine learning also will help us predict and prevent attacks with greater accuracy. Also, the rise of quantum computing is going to be a game changer. While we are still a few years away from mainstream quantum computing, its development is progressing rapidly. The quantum computing promises immense processing power, which could challenge definitely cybersecurity. On the one hand, it will enable us to create stronger encryption methods, but on the other hand, it could potentially break the encryption standards we rely on today. So, yeah. Also, the trends that are increasing on importance of privacy, with more data breaches and privacy scandals. There is growing awareness and demand for stronger privacy protections. Regulations like GDPR and CCPA are just the beginning, and we can expect more stringent regulations worldwide, pushing organizations to adopt better data protection practices. Also, Internet of Things, many of them.
Wow, so many. So, how much does AI worry you today? Is it in the focus of what you think can harm the company?
No, I don't. I don't look at it that way. I see AI as an enhancer in our jobs. I don't see it as a replacement for humans. But it will enhance our jobs definitely. I constantly use it, and it helps me a lot. In terms of productivity and delegating some, I would say, boring stuff to the AI, and focusing on more things that I see as attractive for me.
Interesting. Do you think a lot of CISOs know how to use AI to their best advantage, like really using it to help security?
Mm, when we have some gatherings in seminars and conferences, when I meet some of them, I see there's resistance in some cases, I should say. But most of CISOs already incorporated AI in their workflow, but in some cases I see the resistance, and I don't really understand that approach.
Okay, so we've come to our last question. First of all, thank you so much. That was so interesting. I feel like you have a lot of knowledge and on the different things that are happening, like a bit of everything. So it's very interesting to hear. And also, it relates to the next question, which is what would you advise someone who's getting started in security or looking to advance in the field?
One advice that I would give to anyone starting a career in cybersecurity is to develop a hobby or skill that has absolutely nothing to do with technology. Yes, you heard me
Explain.
right. You heard me right. Whether it's painting or playing a musical instrument or mountain biking or whatever it is, find something you enjoy that takes you completely away from screens and code and everything. But cybersecurity is an intense field that demands a lot of mental energy and focus. It's easy to get consumed by the constant learning, the never-ending threat landscape, and the pressure to stay ahead of the cyber criminals. So having a hobby or skill that's completely unrelated to technology can provide a much-needed mental break and help you recharge. For instance, I love mountain biking, and when I'm out on the trails, focusing on navigating the terrain and enjoying the natural scenery is like a mental reset. So it allows me to clear my mind, relieve stress, and come back to work with a fresh perspective. Plus, mountain biking is also a lot like cybersecurity because you need to stay alert, anticipate obstacles, and make quick decisions, but without the risk of data breach if you have a wrong turn. Yeah.
Wow, that's a good
Well,
that's a good analogy. And by the way, I don't know, this might not surprise you, but I was surprised that a lot of CISOs have these hobbies that they do specifically even with biking. I've spoken to a few that like cycling, I mean. So
yeah. Thank you for having me here, Ade. I really enjoyed it.